So I've been putting this video off for like quite some time now. It's honestly just me delaying the inevitable. But today I kind of want to just say like screw it. As you guys can tell by the title of the video, today I'm going to be mixing and mastering my very first single that I will be releasing at the end of this year, like literally at the end of this year. The purpose of all this is pretty much just like to show you guys to really, if you have an idea, like to put yourself out there and just to put your ideas out there in general. What we're gonna make here isn't gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be like the next big hit. It's not gonna go platinum, nothing like that. But the point is just to put it out there, you know? Your ideas don't have any value if they just exist in your hard drive. So today I really just want to take that next step forward to like making more things happen. I made this literally around this time last year. With that said, let's just get straight to it. I already got like a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, I made this last year. I did go back into it recently when I rediscovered it and added some new elements, but I really don't have much like here. I have some compression, some EQing and stuff like that, but everything is still kind of like not settled in. So you guys get the gist of it, but as you can see, it still feels empty, it still feels unfinished, and that's what we're here to do today. We're here to finish this up. So before I even like start like mixing and doing anything like that, I really want you guys to understand that there's no right or wrong answer on how you mix your track. There's general rules on like what you can do, and this also depends on the type of genre that you're mixing, that you're working on. What I'm about to do right now is just how I like to do it, and you guys can just use it as a blueprint, like how I kind of emphasize with everything that I do. You know, just use it as like your stepping stone, and then throughout you can just figure out your own style. Or if you like what I do, copy it. Like it really doesn't matter. For the instruments, I definitely do feel like we need an extra lead here, just because like this does get a lot of repetitive. That's not that bad. Something I really do want to say is that mixing does include like, you know, your EQs. Mixing is also your panning, if you pan it right or left, whatever the case is, that is still considered mixing. Mixing, bottom line, is just like blending all your elements together, you know, like literally think of it like a cake, like you're baking, you know how we say like, oh, we're cooking up? In a way, metaphorically, we are, because we're getting all these different elements, all these different ingredients, and we're just blending them in together, you know? And if you add a little too much sugar, or if you add a little too much salt, whatever the case may be, it won't come out like how you need to. So everything at the end of the day is really about balance. Kind of want it to like be a little wider because I really like this melody. There we go, I like that. Let's make this. That's better, I like that. Feels more natural. See how we don't like have anything going on in this, on the low end of this lead? We can just cut that out entirely because we do get like a bit of a rise right there, but since we don't need that, just, you know, cut it all out in general. And we can bring this out a little more since it is a higher pitched melody. What's this one? This is free. This one's free, I know that for a fact. So you guys can go get this one. Some pretty cool presets right there. Pro EQ. Yeah, see how we only have this frequency right here? That's perfect. We don't really want too much of it. Yeah, see, this is a little more defined. These little curves that you can do here on your EQs, those are like perfect for when you like have a specific frequency that you just hear like kind of pierce through the mix a little too much. So you can you can close the frequency a little tighter, and then just like dip it more precisely, you know, because right here we're kind of doing a dip here also. There's obviously a wider dip right here, and it'll just get more of like your whatever frequency that you're trying to cut off. But if you're trying to be precise about it, definitely just try to like tighten it up a little bit and then just dip it down more. So hey, we cut out the low ends also. We have two basses, so we do want to have as little low end in our other type of instruments as possible. But like I said, that's just how I do it. You know, I know some producers that like to have a bit of low end, because low end, taking out too much low end does kind of like take away a lot of character from your instruments. But then again, it's just what you're trying to go for. So right now I'm just trying to not use that too much low end, since we do have two basses and I really want those to pop out a lot more. As far as like what I put on the bus, a digital texture right here, kind of just to degrade the sound. Same thing with this. I had to degrade the sound a little more. What did I put? I put a low pass filter, and then compression. I did say that I wanted to add another like lead or something, so let's add that. I like that. Now let's EQ this right here. That's kind of sick. Let's put it before. Some of you may be asking why I like switched over the delay before the EQ. If you notice, the delay did have a repitch, and that repitch was like super noticeable, right? I switched it to the rear. The EQ is filtering whatever is going on in the delay. So like your chain matters. Like whatever sequence you have in your effects rack, it does matter because everything affects the next thing. If you're a guitar player, it's the same thing as your pedals. Whatever order you have them in depends on like the overall outcome of like your effects, you know? So always keep that in mind on what you do, on how you set up your effects rack, because it does matter. You know, it's not just like clicking in and it just sounds good. Like you actually kind of have to think about what you're gonna put in first and what you're gonna keep last. Me personally, I always like to put the EQ at the very end. That way you are filtering out all those excessive, like those added like frequencies that you can get through your delays or your reverbs or your chorus, stuff like that. But that's just how I like to do it. I kind of hear more towards the left. I kind of want the left to have a little more space taking up. And this ARP, we can honestly put this ARP to the right. Like really exaggerate the pan on it. I really like what we have here. I really want to focus more on the arrangement. We gotta make it vibey, you know? I'm gonna automate some stuff. Okay, that's already kind of sick. I like that. Okay, here we're gonna like just cut everything off. Let's try to build it up to this part right here, up to like bar 13. We're gonna build it up until there. We're gonna add stuff, take stuff away. Just watch this. Alright, damn, that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard. Alright, hold up. This is kind of sick. Let's see what we can do here. Let's actually bring it out more here. Let's cut out the drums right here. Let's put a I want this lead to be emphasized a little more, so let's put a utility on it and just increase the dB, the gain. Ooh, hold up. What if let's just hear how it sounds with this right here. Maybe later. That will be later. Right there. What if we go down? That's better. But we definitely need some more effects. Let's try to add. Okay, let's add like a riser and like a hit. Just try it. It sounds kind of sick. that. I want that bala, but kind of like as a perk. What if we just mute that for a little bit? And we just put these in between like beats. Let's see. Ooh, hold on. Let's do that again, like right around here. Let's do it again, like the same spot. Is it on 4? It's on 4. All right, let's try it. Let's see. Here, let's see how it sounds like just like this. I feel like the time is good. Was that 240? 246, 245, whatever. I think that's pretty cool. It's not perfect. By all means, it is not perfect. But it's there and it's ours, you know, in a way. Mind you, this might not be the final product. I might add and like take away stuff before I like upload it for release. But for now, like I'm actually really happy about this. And then we can like bring this back right here. Okay, now something that we haven't done yet is actually like master it. So when it comes to mastering, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I am not the best. I know some fundamentals. However, for this case, I do have a preset. And the preset is right here. It's my favorites. I use this for like pretty much all my house tracks or like anything like techno. I definitely think like it adds that like nostalgic feeling that we all kind of look for in our songs. So this is the chain right here, starting from the EQ to the saturator to the glue compressor to the limiter. Once I play with this, it's gonna sound a whole lot different. It's not gonna sound like the same thing, and it's gonna give it a lot more character, that kind of that thing we're looking for right now. And let's check it out. As you guys can see, when I put this rack, this effects rack right here, it just sounds a whole lot different. It just sounds a whole lot better. Like, it actually sounds like a song that you would want to hear in your list, in your playlist. My opinion, I feel like that's true. So let's run down what's going on here. And you just kind of notice that I did take away the God particle. Honestly, after I heard it with all this together, it doesn't make sense to have it. There's already a saturator going on here and a limiter, so it just didn't feel right. I feel like it was adding a little bit too much, even with me dialing down the dry wet knob. As far as we got going on, we got our EQ, EQ8, and we're cutting down a lot of the highs instead of the lows. We obviously want our lows in this case because we're mastering, so it's gonna affect everything. And I'm raising up the eighth like knob up by a little bit to kind of get that extra like frequencies right here. That's what gives it its like nostalgic feeling. Honestly, that's like the big cheat code right there. If you ever want to get that nostalgic feeling, cut down the highs but raise it up a little bit around this area. Now we have a saturator, obviously just to like really emphasize on the dynamics of it. We have a glue compressor, that way we can get that like dip effect you know what I mean, throughout the entire song. And our threshold is at negative 28.6 dB. Our limiter gives us that extra like headroom for effects. You guys can take it, go ahead, use it in your own projects. If you guys also noticed right here, I added this empty clip at the end. That way, when I render the song out, it doesn't just end on this clip. Like if you were to do that and not have this empty clip right here, your song would just end abruptly. Like it won't have like a fade out in the way. And you can definitely automate your fade out, but the program doesn't recognize your fade out here where it's empty. It will stop it right here regardless if your fade ends all the way at like 80, bar 80 or something. So it's always cool to have this like empty clip right here, because the program will read this as part of your session. So when you render it out, this empty clip will exist, but just as space at the end. That way this pad can play out a lot more naturally. But honestly, guys, I feel like we have something pretty good here. This is actually a lot of fun. I feel like we have a lot of great elements. Like it's flushed out enough to where we definitely have an intro. We have like a chorus right here, and then we have to like continue it off with like different elements throughout. Like the key thing that I really want you guys to take out of this is that, like I said in the beginning, your ideas have no value if you just keep them in your hard drive. I understand the pressure of not living up to like your own expectations, but you also kind of have to say screw it. Like I said, this isn't gonna break crazy records. Like it might not, it won't, you know, probably reach like 1,000 streams or something like that, but it doesn't matter, because the point is to actually just put yourself out there and just see what will happen. It might not be when you want it, but it will happen when it's meant to happen. With that being said, you guys, I hope you guys are there when this drops. I will be promoting it throughout my Instagram and even TikTok. I'll put like a link of my TikTok down in the description also. I'll start making like little promo videos and stuff like that, using little moments of like this. But I hope you guys did take something away from like the mixing and the mastering and the arrangement and just adding more elements and stuff like that. But with that being said, you guys, thank you for the massive support. I will make another video of mixing and mastering a lot more ahead in the future. This was really just to like kind of promote the song and just to really bring it to your guys' attention. But I will make another video about mixing and mastering, more like in depth of like what a compressor does, what an EQ does, stuff like that. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'm always happy to answer them. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys in the future, and be good people.